Well, hey and welcome to the video. I wanted to give a quick rundown on splitters and mixers with the Quad Cortex, how I personally use them, and try to clear up some of the confusion that I saw on the official Neural DSP YouTube channel on the video explaining splitters and mixers. So let's get into it. Alright, so we've got our really basic preset here, and there's a couple different ways we can create the splitter path. We can either click on any block and it would create that for us, or we can also long press on the row that we want to create the splitter in. As you can see, blue means splitter and pink M means mixer, and we'll just basically go through the different types here. So at the top here we've got basically a quick tool, so you can create two of the most commonly used splitters by clicking either of those icons. Here we've got our different scenes, so you can change the parameters based on the scenes as well. M is a mute, and the check mark obviously is going to be to accept the changes that we've made. So why do we need splitters and mixers? Basically, from a guitarist perspective, adding to our signal chain and also splitting up effects. I'll get into a little bit later, but essentially if you're going to run two different types of delays, it's not always the best to throw one delay into another, and you can split up the chain with the splitter in this case. Alright, so taking a look at splitter here, we've got a few different types. We've got crossover, AB, and balance. So essentially we'll start with balance. That's probably going to be one of the most commonly used ones. Basically all it is it uses a single knob to distribute the signal to the rows. So you can't adjust any of the parameters here because I haven't selected where I want the split to occur. And let's say I want to put it there, and now our options have opened up here. And balance, what that basically is going to mean is the signal coming into the split and going to our second row here is going to be the same as row A here, going to our multi-out. So in this particular case, we haven't specified what this split is going off to, so let's do that quickly. And let's just say we're going to put it to output 3 because I'm running an amplifier, and out 1 and 2 are going to go to front of house, so I want a cab sim on there. Alright, it gives us an option for stereo. There's split and there's normal. So basically what split does is it's going to only send the right input, if we have a stereo input, to the signal chain, and basically you would only get the right side of the signal. We would normally, for guitar players, we'll keep that at normal because it basically sends both left and right inputs to the splitter path. And we have balance as well. We can tweak that if we want. And that essentially is just adjusting the signal mix between the row and the splitter mixer path. Level A and level to B are grayed out because they don't apply in this case, and we will get into that next. Alright, so some other types here. We've got AB, and basically what that is going to allow us to do is we can adjust the decibel levels going to each row. So level to A, this is our A level. Level to B, this is our B level. So if I wanted some more signal going to my amplifier, for example, I could tweak that, and vice versa if I wanted more level going to my front of house. I could tweak that as I wanted to. Okay, and the final type we have here is crossover, and basically what that is going to do is split the frequencies into two different bands. So anything below 400 in this case is going to continue along the row A, and anything above that is going to be sent to our mixer. So I guess from a guitarist perspective, if you wanted to split the low frequencies to a different part of the PA system or something like that, I guess that's how you would use that. Alright, so in this case, with this particular splitter and mixer that I've set up, I have split the signal, and it's basically a stereo signal at this point because I'm getting signal that's going into this second row, but I'm also still getting signal going straight across. So, and in the middle I've set up an EQ just for happenstance in case I wanted to EQ something. But that's essentially where, if you go into the mixer settings, that's where all this level to A, level to B stuff comes in. So level A is basically differentiating the level that is in row 1. Level B is our splitter mixer path and the level we want to go to that. I can also pan that as well because it's a stereo signal. I could pan the A level to left or the right, and same with B. Phase, all it does is basically invert the phase. Generally, you can probably leave that alone. And the mixer level, that is basically going to boost the signal out of the mixer into my cab, as an example. Alright, so before I talked a little bit about how a guitarist in particular, coming from my perspective, would use splitters and mixers, and this is a good example. So I've got a preset set up. I've got two different types of delays. On top, I've got a dual or digital delay, and on the bottom, I've got a slapback delay. Now, if I want to run both of these at the same time for whatever reason, it's not always super advantageous to run them into one another. You can get some weird stuff happening. Or if you wanted to run two of the same type of delays with two different note values, that's another aspect that would warrant this type of a setup. So an interesting thing to note about how this one is set up in particular, if I go into my mixer here, you can see that my level B is changing with the specific scenes that I have set up. So scene H, I've got level B off. So basically, I'm not getting any signal from this row when I'm on scene H. And if I go back to scene A, I've got a level to B of minus 21 dB, and it varies going through the signals, and obviously other stuff is changing in there. But that's an important thing to note. So you can change within the scenes. If you long press on anything, you can get this nice icon, and you can change those parameters to change when you switch the scenes on the Cortex. Alright, so I hope that video shed some light on how to more effectively use splitters and mixers on your Quad Cortex and how it can add to your preset making. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me grow, and we'll see you in the next one.